Hello, we'd like to go through the workbook, green workbook answer with you. Wait a minute. And then, so accordingly, we are having from the lesson, I think I just haven't told you the answer from the page, let's see, page 4 until the last part. And then, so first of all, for page 4, it's asking about the Victoria Park. What kind of land use is it belongs to? Belongs to recreational land use. Okay. And then for the three other type of land use provided by the map evidence and support your answer. For the map evidence, this part you're gonna give me some exact name of specific buildings. For example, you can see if we are asking for the commercial land use, you're gonna tell me the Times Square and then also the World Trade Center. There are also some acceptable answer as well. Windsor House, I think also okay. Institutional land use mainly by the government or by the different association, just like church, just like the Christ the King Chapel, St. Paul's Hospital, Hong Kong Central Library. Someone say Hong Kong General Library. I don't know why. Okay, but anyway, institutional land use will include those government land use mainly, or the social organization land use. Okay, how about the transport? Transport is mainly the MTR station, the tramway, so on and so forth. Okay, so it's almost like this. And then remember, for the hospital, it should be like this. Okay, the hospital should be like this. And then for the church, it should be like this. Okay, this is how we call the conventional sign of the map. Okay, in the notes I do have given you a summary which is about different kinds of conventional sign in the map, so please do have a revision about that. Okay, although I really don't have time to ask you to remember one by one in detail, but you're gonna do have some marks for the map reading. Okay, so you're gonna be careful about this. And then, so what is whole circle bearing? Whole circle bearing is talking about 0 to 360 degrees. So accordingly, from here, it is talking about from St. Paul Hospital to where? To MTR station, isn't it? Yeah, to MTR station. So it should be this way. Okay, yeah, but let's ignore it. Okay, yeah, but you can see how I'm going to represent. Okay, so accordingly, in terms of the notes, okay, I do have such a page which is called which is telling you that we are having different kinds of the direction. Okay, let me find it out for the summary notes. Not this one. So we are talking about the summary, which we can find the different kinds of direction or the conventional sign we can find in the workbook. And so accordingly, I would like to show you the summary as well. Okay, and for the summary, we can find that the compass point, which is always talking about what is compass point, which is what we can find in the compass. Okay, and then accordingly, you won't have the number or the angle. Okay, instead you will have the just have the direction only. Okay, so accordingly, when you heard or when you read the word compass point, just give me the direction, but you're gonna be a bit specific. Okay, for example, you are going to tell me north, northeast, east, south and west, or northeast, southwest, or northeast or southwest, so on and so forth. And how about the whole circle bearing? What is whole circle? Which is talking about from here, from north, we are in the 0 degree or 360 degree for sure, and then which is after a right angle from right hand side, it will be east, and then it should be 90 degrees. And then for the south, it should be the 180 degrees, and then for the rest it should be 270 degrees. So so on and so forth. So accordingly, what is in between, then you're gonna take care it, okay, taking it with care, okay. And then how about the reduce the bearing? As I have told you in the lesson, you're gonna find in 3 steps, okay. For example, for the first of all, you're gonna remind yourself, if certain angle you want to calculate certain angle or measure certain angle, for example like this, okay, north, east, south, west. First of all, you're gonna ask yourself, what is what are the proportion is it located, okay, the northern part or in the northern half or the southern half, okay. What is northern half? The yellow one, okay. What is the southern part? The purple one, okay. So if we want to measure the angle right here, okay, and I think this one, it is later in south, okay, it should be south. And then second question, to remind yourself, how many angle it have what is the angle it have deflected, okay. For if you are provided that, oh, it is 20 degrees, okay, it's 20 degrees, then you have to tell it's 20 degrees. And the last question is whether it is defected to the west or defected in the east, okay. So it's defected from the south to the west at 20 degrees. So accordingly, if this angle, we'll call it as n, sorry, not n, because always the n always come first, then I just read faster than my mind, okay. South 20 degrees west, okay. So this is how the things that reducer bearing is working, okay. So you're gonna bear in mind if you forget, okay. I told you in the lesson, then you better drill with it. And indeed, for the workbooks, we have several questions to drill, and then I did remind you in the lesson. And then let's see, let's get back to the workbook, okay, right here, yeah. So accordingly, for here, whole circle bearing, as I have showed you, the angle should be towards like this, okay. I know there will be unlocked document already. Then if it's in this direction, which is all the way like this, okay, then it should be, if you bring along with a protractor, it should be 311 degrees, okay, measuring like this. You may ask, what should you bring along, the semicircle one protractor or the semicircle protractor or the whole circle protractor? I really suggest you to bring a whole circle one, because you don't need to guess how to place your protractor properly, okay. Then I think the whole circle protractor will be more practical and easy for you to use, okay. And accordingly, wait a minute, yeah, I just want to check out whether I have really record my sound or not. Sorry about this, okay. And how about the straight line distance? Straight line distance, you're gonna measure this again, okay. It should be 6.5 cm. Now you have to measure this, okay. Measure this, okay. It should be 6.5 cm. And accordingly, you can see this, okay, which is one cm indeed. So accordingly, if you have measured 6.5 cm, you're gonna multiply by the scale, which is 1 cm to 60 m. So accordingly, it should be 390 m, okay, for this part, okay. And then, oops, wait a minute, right here, yeah. And then let's see, and then there's another question which is also about the back reading as well, okay. but it's more or less similar. Let's jump to page 6 first. Page 6 first of your workbook. Page 6 of your workbook, and you can find a Sam. Okay, a Sam living in the low-income residential area. You are not. I think you can manage to answer this. Okay, and then most of the time they are having high building density, and or you can say less open space is also okay. Limited open space. How about the advantage for living here? Convenient transport, because we can go to MTR station easily, just like 2.1 right now. And institution land use which can serve the resident, just like 2.1, just like Empire Link as well. Okay, we are having some old buildings next to us, and then meanwhile we are having some institutional land use, such like clinic, and during when you are having lesson, okay, when you are going to school. Okay, you may find a lot of elderly sitting next to the Ampling, okay, the government building next to us, because there's a clinic right there. Okay, and recreation facility nearby, just like Central Park, swimming pool, so on and so forth. And also, what is the reducer bearing from Central Park to Sam's home? Okay, Sam's home. Where's Sam's home? Right here. And then you are going like this. Okay. So accordingly, going like this, accordingly, I think it should be south, isn't it? Okay, and then it should be south. Okay, according to this direction is south, Okay, and then it should be south bend to west, isn't it? South bend to west. So accordingly, if you have the protractor, you can measure it finely, which is south 82 west. Okay, and some allowance allowed it. Okay, so just ignore this. Okay, and then straight line distance, and if you have measured this distance, definitely use a ruler because I cannot use the ruler in the in the iPad. Okay, then if you measure this, it should be 9.5 cm, isn't it? 9.5 cm, and then again, you can see 1 cm to 75 m, 1 cm to 75 m, and then you times it together. Okay, multiply it together, all together, and then the answer it should be 712 and 0.5 m. Okay, some allowance allowed it, so this is the correct answer of page 6. Okay, and I really suggest you to have a revision about the reduced bearing. Okay, and then next should be the this one, and then the about the industrial building. And first of all, before the 1970s, this is the multi-story factory buildings, and examples include Sampo Gong and Guntong. Okay, and you can find is photograph B, this one. Okay, this one is something look like 2.1 and also Sampo Gong. Okay, and then from 1970s to 1990s. Okay, and you can see mostly in the typo Yunnan Jagwon Industrial Estate, just like as I already said, TV Buddy. Okay, the TV Buddy building is like this. Okay, although this is not the TV Buddy building, is Watson Water, but more or less they are the settings of this kind of industrial building is more or less the same. Okay, and then it should be photo C. Okay, and then how about the 1990? Okay, after 1990, mostly it is high-tech industry, and for the high-tech industry, you're gonna having the Science Park in Shatin and also Cyberport in Bofu Land, and accordingly it should be A, and most of the time they are doing high-tech industry. Okay, okay, next one, and for the page 10, is it having some? Yeah, I missed a page. Okay, let's get back to page 5 first. Sorry. Okay, but indeed I have told you in the essay part and also during the lesson, so I think you can manage to do so. Okay, for example, the building is good for here. Okay, the City 1 Sha-Tin and Whampoa Garden will be the examples, and this one you can always see in Togo 1, which is low income residential area and flats are small, okay? And I don't know why some of you is having saying that this one is the squatter area. Sorry, it's not the squatter areas. This very luxuriant, very excellent living space, okay? So it should be the peak and also the mid level, okay? Next, ups. This one I have talked about, and then this one I'm not going to tell because if you really want to know the answer, you can just cap the screen right here. But I really haven't talked anything about Rio de Janeiro, and because of time, I'm going to skip it. And then if you really want to know, ask me or just capture the screen right now. And then if you have any problem, you can just go to me, okay? DM me, whatever, okay? This one I have just talked about, and then let's get back to here. This one, I think you can just directly copy from the notes, okay? But just the triangle, square, and also circle will be different, and so accordingly, you're gonna be careful. And then Victoria Harbour, some of you just like new territories, old urban areas, which is not very right or very specific enough. You're gonna be a bit specific, okay? And be careful about the word of high technology industry, okay? As we have just told, should be here, the high-tech industry only appear in 1990. So accordingly, for 1770 to 1990, from mid 1970s to mid 1990s, I don't think there will be some high-tech industry. So B is the correct answer. And some of you haven't just say, oh, it's in the new territories. It's not specific enough. You're gonna tell me Science Park, okay, or Cyberport, and Cyberport definitely not in the new territories, okay. And why? Because it is having better facilities, infrastructure, and also better support for the high technology industry, okay. And then, oops, wait a minute. And then for here, why industrial and residential area is what is their interrelationship in between? First of all, the industrial areas of the old urban areas are close to the low income residential area. And how about the industrial areas in the new town? There are some buffer zone in between the residential area. You can learn this in a typo case, okay, case of typo, okay. There's a typo park which is going to block the industrial area with the residential area to relieve the pollution, so on and so forth, okay. High technology industry are close to the high income residential area, okay. And I would like to remind you the word of the labor intensive. Labor intensive, this is a bit look like the printing work, okay. When you're talking about the printing work, it should be very routine and repeating, so it demand your labor, your energy, demand your power so much, okay. So number 2 is not correct because Science Park is not for this, mainly for the high-tech thing, okay. So again, the answer should be boy, okay. Why they prefer the industrial area, some of the industrial area, just like the labor intensive industry next to the residential area, because the factory owner may love that because they can have a better supply of labor, and for the resident they may go to the factory for work as well, okay. Better job, and the commuting is better, and also the transport is can save in terms of transport costs, they can save some transport costs indeed, okay. So how about the residential may face in that area? Air pollution, noise pollution, limited open space, and also crowded living space. I think I've told you this already. And the last part, which is the Guangzhou, okay, Guangzhou industrial estate or Yunnan industrial estate, whatever, okay. The answer should be D, sorry, okay. The flood relief, and you can see this is the lower cost of the river, so you can find a lot of Lamsang Way, okay. What is Lamsang Way? Is indeed a fish pond, and it's a lot of alluvial soil is being deposited, okay, and which is talking about the soil from the upper coast is well deposited in this area, so it can be regarded as a lower cost. Okay, so in fact we live here, and then a lead of industrial land. Hong Kong do lead industrial land in the 90 decades or 80 decades, because the industrial development is quite keen on that time, and then providing job opportunity for the resident in New Town, because you should know that Tin Shui Wai and Tuen Mun and Yuen having a lot of people living in there, and then they lead a lot of job, and then building some industrial estate can satisfy the job demand of that area. So all are right. So the answer should be D. Okay, should be D. Okay. And why industrial estate located in the center of Yuen Long? Explain with support of the map evidence. You gotta tell me some map evidence. Don't just tell me it is in the central. Full stop. It's not okay, because you're gonna tell me why is how about why is in the central? Okay. For example, the high density of development and few built up areas next to the industrial estate. Okay. Because in the center there should be a lot of development, but if it's not in center, very relatively few development. Just like central in Hong Kong, you cannot find any kinds of countryside, isn't it? So you can just find the entire countryside in the periphery area, okay, in the margin area of Hong Kong. So it's not the central location. Okay. And why it can reduce the impact of the industrial activities on the local resident. For example, you can tell me the hill Ju Wang Nang, okay, which can separate the industrial estate from the residential area, just like the Tai Po Park. Okay. Can reduce the negative impact of the industrial activity. And some of you just tell, oh, a sewage treatment plant and finish and full stop. But you have to tell me what are the function of the sewage treatment plant. Okay, you're gonna tell me, oh, it can reduce the water pollution. Okay, how high-end can high-end technology industry be developed in Yuen Long industrial estates? Why? It should be okay or not okay is both fine. Okay, because the natural scenery can provide a good working environment. Just like if you have seen the YouTube of the Apple Park, which is the headquarters of Apple companies, and then you can see the environment is very good as well. Okay, so accordingly the natural scenery will be very good. But how about no for the negative side? Because there are lack of infrastructure that can attract a high industry. Okay, because low MPR, low any kinds of highways which can reach there directly. So I don't really think it's a good idea to set up the high-tech industry as well. Okay, so that's the going through of the answer for the workbook. Okay, so stay tuned for the next video. Bye.